Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eddie McMorrow. I'm one of the product managers at Inspur. Inspur has been committed to OCP since 2016. We offer the San Jose Triplet and Mission Bay products, among other rack offerings for OCP. Inspur is very excited to be part of OCP Community. If you don't know much about us, Inspur is the #3 server manufacturer in the world, but most of that comes from big cloud service providers in Asia, such as Baidu and Alibaba. Here in the US, we've started working closely with cloud service providers that sometimes have different requirements in their data centers. As an example, we recently had hyperscaler ask us to optimize our 4U2 node system thermally. It was a CFM watt per spec that I believe is also used in OCP. In under a month, we were able to retrofit a top cover, improve the airflow with better airflow, and turnaround time improved. So we quickly came out with that retrofit in an amazing amount of time. This really shows that Inspur can help you, if you're a hyperscaler enterprise customer, achieve your server time to market. And I'd like to give a special thanks to our VP of Operations, Alan Chang. I'm not sure if he's here, but he puts in a lot of time, frankly, working with our customers and provides amazing customer service. So today, I'd like to tell you about how we've taken our mainstream 1U and 2U offerings and we've leveraged them into the open compute rack. So these are hybrid offerings, what you see here on the screen. They look different than a typical triplet that other vendors and Inspur offer. Let's say you have server configurations based on standard mainstream pizza boxes or 2U servers, but you are interested in moving to OCP. But you know what works for you. You already have standard 2.5-inch drives and NICs that you've qualified, and you've vetted the firmware and the drivers for your OS. That you're going to run. So you already know what components you want to use, but you want to move them to OCP. Still, you want to transition to OCP to take advantage of CapEx and OpEx savings and get on open source rack management software. Inspur has developed these hybrid solutions for you. On the left, you could see the 1OU offering. It features a dual Intel Ice Lake processor up to 270 watts. And the motherboard has 32 DIMMs. And you can see there's 3 different configurations there, or SKUs. A balanced compute SKU, which has a good mix of storage drives and NIC cards, and of course an OCP 3.0. You have an I/O fabric SKU, which gives you more NIC cards and maybe less storage. And then a thermally optimized SKU when you really want to amp up the TDP of the CPU. The motherboard also, about half of the DIMM slots are available to be populated with Optane persistent memory. One of the great things about Inspur is that very disparate compute architectures have been considered and designed at the concept stage of the project. This is not an afterthought or later in the project cycle that you see many vendors do. So we think about what configurations, whether we want NIC cards in the front and the back, and we offer many different SKUs to meet your needs. Okay, on the right, you can see our 2OU storage server. Using the same motherboard, it gives you more storage. So the top SKU there has up to 8 large form factor drives. Sorry, the internal large SKU has up to 12 large form factor drives inside the box. And in the middle there, on the bottom middle right, you can see those arrangement of the drives, the 3.5-inch drives. And on the bottom right, you can see that we have a front storage SKU offering. So if you want to be able to, you don't want the storage drives inside the box, but at the front faceplate, that's available to you. All right, so let's take a little closer look at the front and rear SKUs at the layouts. At the front, you can see the storage drives, all the I/O that I mentioned, the PCI slot, OCP slot. And in the rear layout at the bottom there, you can see there's no power supplies. What we're doing is we're taking this box, fitting it in a 21-inch, putting the bus bar clip in there so that there's no AC to DC conversion inside the box. We connect directly with the OCP rack. Here's a top view of the 1OU balanced compute SKU. The CPUs can be up to a 270-watt Ice Lake CPU, and they have some interesting thermal technology in there. You can see those big gray boxes. I'll get into that in a bit. Here's an exploded view of the 1OU balanced compute SKU. Motherboard, PCI module, front bezel, hard drive, backplane, and the rear supporting the bus bar clip. As we look at these exploded views, I'd like to also mention that our smart factory is coming up to speed in San Jose. So our factory is just a few miles away from the convention center here. It will be, it's a state-of-the-art facility, and the rollout was a bit delayed because of the pandemic. But we're going to have amazing automation of the servers as we integrate them. There's robots on the floor, and that will help us with faster fulfillment and also improve quality of the Inspur servers in the future. Here's the I/O fabric top view. And let's talk about the 2OU storage configuration. The front layout, you can see the internal large storage SKU. So on the bottom 1U, there's all the drives, then they're inside the system. There's OCP 3 slot, up to three full height half-length PCI slots, and 2 NVMe slots if you're using NVMe. And again, that's 12 3.5-inch drives in that 2OU form factor. The second picture there shows the front storage SKU. So this is just a different variant of the system, and it allows you to have the 3.5-inch drives right at the front faceplate with a couple extra PCI slots and NVMe drives there as well. And then at the bottom again, showing the bus bar clip of to the rear of the OCP rack. And here's a picture of the top view. And then in some of the comments there, it's just showing that some of the reuse that we have, we're reusing risers, we're reusing backplanes that are used on our standard SKU. So that 1U pizza box or the 2U box that we sell for standard configurations, we've reused them in the OCP version here. Let's skip ahead to the thermals. You can see the different exploded views, and you can look at these presentations online as well. So advanced cooling, so that's one of the hallmarks of this system. Here we're showing the 1OU on the left and the 2OU on the right. So the air cooling heat sinks with these heat pipes, and you'll have a better picture of it in the next slide, which has the let's see, let me show you. You can kind of see it here. So there's CPU 0 and CPU 1, and then it is using these outriggers, this thermal technology that's called EVAC, Extended Volume Air Cooling Heat Sinks. So these heat pipes pull the air from the fans directly over to the CPU, so that way we can achieve higher TDP CPUs, up to 270 watts on our 1U, in these configurations. We also have added optimized fan modules that improved drive IOPS by 8%. Okay, finally, let me go over the value proposition I kind of talked about a little bit. So we leverage high volume general purpose servers. We're reusing motherboards designed for the highest volume hyperscale cloud service providers, CSPs. So you leverage, or you're able to leverage your already qualified firmware and drivers to smooth your transition to OCP. So you're taking commodity drives and NIC cards that you're already using that may not fit in a triplet, and we're putting on this 1U or 2 OU system, and it helps with the transition to OCP. All of this means improved quality, reliability, and time to market for OCP racks. So you can lower your complexity and risk when you transition to OCP by transitioning your L10 configurations, your compute and storage configurations with Inspur. Short talk today, but thank you all for listening. And if you'd like more information, we do have a booth at B23, so stop over there. Thank you.